4 in the morning. I'm going to probably just bail. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thanks again for watching, really appreciate it. I've just left an area near Loch Chon in the Trossachs National Park. I'm going to head over towards Loch Lomond and hopefully find a spot for a nice night to try out the Asta Gear tent. I don't know if you saw my previous video, but it's the what they call the Fenying 2, the Wind Whisper 2, or as I call it, the Who Flung Dung 2. I've had to go full waterproof just temporarily there. You can probably see in the background. The shower has just passed through. Absolutely biblical. I was waiting on the thunder, but we didn't get that yet. And I'm only 15 minutes in. So hopefully we can strip these waterproofs back off and get heading. I'll bring you back in a wee while once I get to the next point of interest. So I'm taking a route that I think is a safe route because the weather forecast is yet another shocker, as I always say. The next few days really unsettled, thunder, lightning, heavy rain, high winds I think tomorrow morning at this point. So yeah, I thought I'm not going to hit the hills, especially testing this wee lightweight tent. I don't fancy it much, I'll show you that way. It's all on a big piling line unfortunately, but the scenery around that is nice. So this should take me through a pass to a high point, and I'll be looking down over Loch Lomond on the West Highland Way, and then the plan is to head down, and that should take me down onto the West Highland Way itself by the shore, and hopefully find a nice spot somewhere down there with a nice breeze, midgie free, place to have a wee leave no trace fire if I want. That's all in my dream. Whether it's going to work out that way, I do not know. So I've just stopped for a wee pasta stock up. I'm not filming it because there's too many midges. It's gone still, but it's actually dry at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to head up this track here. Probably for another couple of hours I think before I get to the Loch Lomond. Although it is testing my judgment and testing my temperament at the moment. I'm beginning to think, what have I done? The rain has just been relentless, so I've not done much filming. I apologise guys. It really is Scottish wild camping and hill walking at its worst. Midges, relentless rain, it's gone still now. The views come and go, but I'm going to be able to film them because it's so wet. Anyway, I'm going to start heading up that track there for about another 2 hours I think, probably before we get to anywhere near the loch. So there's a brief lull in the weather, a brief lull in the rain. So I'll give it to probably about 3 o'clock as a cut-off time, and then I'll decide whether to crack on. Try and get a signal so we can check this forecast again. It was meant to be better than this, but I knew there was heavy showers, but we've had nothing in between. It's just heavy. Right, call off point I think. If it's going to stay as miserable as this, I can see the cobbler away in the distance by the way. If it's as miserable as this, I think we'll head back. Should the weather break and it gets sunnier, I could always head somewhere for a quick hill camp. But the thought of another 2 hours of this down to Loch Lomond, 4-hour return, and if it's continuously wet like this and no wind, it's going to be midgy hell down there as well. So Ben Lomond finally shown its summit. Okay, very quick to put up actually, even with a loose inner. just attached on one hook. Bring you around the front. There you go. It's absolute luxury, I have to say. The amount of vestibule space is enormous. I can see why you can sleep two in this. But it's good, yeah. So it's funny to have the inner is quite compact, but to have so much room elsewhere, it almost seems a bit of a waste. Just to explain, I'm in the local wind farm area, just about 15-20 minutes from the house. My plan today was to go a lot further and get a nice wild camp in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so I wasn't best pleased about the conditions, I have to say. They were none too nice. Just, that rain was just incessant. It was horrible up there. I'm looking north actually at the moment just now, and it does look better. So it probably has dried up to some extent up there, but I wasn't going to take the gamble, getting absolutely soaked, arriving wet in the middle of nowhere after 5 hours and then setting up camp. So I thought I'd came back to the house, had a quick shower, a wee bite to eat, and then I thought, you know what, let's get out and test the tent anyway and just get a feel for how it is. And so far, yeah, really liking it actually. Get a wee brew on. It's actually very mild tonight. I think it's about 18 degrees here, it was earlier on. It was 15 all day today. I just checked the weather forecast. More rain for the middle of the night and then pretty high winds in the morning. So, do you ever wish you'd maybe sealed your tent before you took it out? 10:10 and I'm just resting my wee legs watching the lights come on in Glasgow. Yeah, I'm really quite impressed with the tent actually. I think just the fact that it packs so small and it's so light, and yet it's got tons of space. The inner is a wee bit flappier in your face, to be fair, but the overall space and the amount of room just to cook and organise stuff is really good. Anyway, I'll stay up for about another hour or so, try and get some shots of the tent, and then I'll probably retire because my legs are absolutely killing me. 24k that was. And I'm definitely not as fit as I could be. Right, let's get this sleeping bag lofted up. And it has stayed perfectly dry after 5 hours, thankfully in a nice Fjallraven dry bag. That works very well. It's a wee bit heavy, but it's certainly bomber and it works really well. A wee candle on for ambience. Yeah, that. In the morning, the pole has broken. The tent is fine, I think, but the pole has broken. I'm going to probably just bail. yeah, I'll bring you back once I've decided what to do. It doesn't look like the pole is repairable, and I don't have the second pole with me, which was a real oversight. So I'm going to pack up, I'll bring you back. Whoa, okay, so I have reversed one section of the broken pole, put my a wee bit of my rucksack over the top of the broken pole into the peak. It's holding for the moment, but I think, to be fair, with the weather forecast, the winds are supposed to get a lot higher, so I think what we might have to do is just pack up and bail, just in case. I don't want to damage the tent, and I'm not far from home, so I might as well just cut my losses and get out of here quickly rather than hang in and see what happens. I don't really want to trash it on night one. Should have brought another pole, guys. Moral of the story. Right, let's get packed. Get out of here. Right, I'm almost there. Just checking for last bits and pieces. Get this mat in. Well, I didn't expect that. The tent has held so far, but I just don't know. I've now got a shorter pole in it. It's a lot more flappy. I suspect it's going to at some point give way, or the lines will pull out. I'll just cut my losses and get out of here. So, yeah, lesson learnt. Yeah, tent doesn't look too healthy. Thankfully, I don't think we've torn through the peak. But it's, yeah, let's get out of here while it's still relatively dry. So, back home, thankfully. Luckily, I was only half an hour away from the car and another half an hour to home. And as you can see, I'm just trying to work out what went wrong with the pole. The tent itself was actually okay in that wind. As I measured it when I left, it was steady about 31 mile an hour, gusting to 40. And I thought it was maybe the tent had gone or the guy lines had gone, but no. It was the pole itself just gave in. So I don't know if I can reassemble this or fix this. We'll have a wee look. But that kind of sums up the whole 24 hours. It was just a 24-hour disaster. But it's a good test of the tent. So anyway, I'm going to cut my losses and head off just now. If you have any questions, just drop me a line below and I'll answer them as usual. But thank you very much again for watching. Really appreciate the likes and the subscribes. And I'll see you out there soon.